Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire. Tigers second baseman Ian Kinsler is off to a red-hot start here in 2015. 18 multi-hit games, the fourth most in Major League Baseball. Kinsler back in the lineup here this afternoon on a gorgeous day in the Motor City. Welcome to Game 3, Tigers and the Astros. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Peppa, Ron Allen. Glad you're with us here for Game 3 in the series. 6 runs in the ball game last night was enough for the Tigers to win, Rod, but this is an offense that continues to be a little bit up and down.
You know, I like it better when the bottom third of the batting order starts to get it done. Castellanos last couple of days has kind of gotten off. McCann's gotten busy as well. Iglesias has been good all year, and also Anthony, Ghost, and Raji at the top. When those guys are getting it done, that bodes well for the guys in the middle of the batting order, and that's why they've been scoring runs.
All right, one of those guys in the middle of the batting order is J.D. Martinez. After going through a really bad stretch, 0 for 25, he has really rebounded nicely.
You know, I like the way that Brad Ausmus has used J.D. Martinez the last couple of years, really. This year, when he was scuffling 0 for 25 with 16 strikeouts, Brad continued to run him out there every single day, knowing that's important for a player, for your manager to show confidence in you. But take a look at J.D.'s last 13, 383 with 3 home runs and 8 runs driven in. J.D. Martinez this year is on pace for 34 home runs, so it's nice to have him in the middle of that order, right behind Miguel Cabrera with Victor Martinez on the disabled list right now.
All right, and for a short break, we'll send you back to the Call Sam Studios. Check in with Trevor Thompson. Coming up here this afternoon, time to rock Lobstein. Kyle Lobstein on the hill, looking for win number 4 on the season. Tigers Stros next. Today, your field conditions are presented by Ace Hardware and Scott's Company. 71 degrees at game time, and quite honestly, it's just beautiful. That's the forecast today. Here is the starting lineup for the Astros, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Jose Altuve been struggling in this series. He'll lead off, followed by Villar and Springer. Middle three, Gaddis, Tucker, and Carter. Bottom three, Castro, Gonzalez, and Marisnik. And they are facing the left-handed offerings of Kyle Lobstein, presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
And Lobstein has won 3. He has dropped 4 in the 2015 season. He checks in with a 4.29 earned run average. Day games, though, he has been outstanding. He has not lost, and he has a 2.75 ERA.
Altuve swings on the very first pitch of the game, and he is safe at first base.
They're going to have to challenge that one. I think they got Altuve.
First pitch swinging is Jose Altuve.
And nothing new for the Houston Astros. They love to swing at the first pitch.
Altuve was running back to the bench. He thought he was out.
He is out.
And the safe call was given, but the first base coach said to come back. Well, this clearly is not even close. So much so that Altuve was just simply headed back to the bench.
Well, we had a challenge here a couple of days ago. It only took about, what, 45 seconds?
No, 39. This will be even quicker.
This should be quicker than that.
I mean, I'm sure they've made up their minds right now. So they'll take a look at this one. Altuve hit a bouncer on the first pitch and clearly was out at first base. I don't think I've ever seen a guy go back to the bench and have his first base coach call him back out. Replay being shown to the crowd here in the ballpark, and they clearly see that he was beaten at first base. Jerry Lane is the crew chief, and the call at first base was made by Bob Davidson. And here comes the out signal. There it is. So Altuve was right. Further proof that Altuve was caught at first base. One gone. I don't know that we've ever done a review one pitch into a game, have we?
I don't think I've seen one.
This is our first. Here is Jonathan Villar. He's the third baseman showing bunt, and he looks at ball one from Lobstein.
It's going to be very important for Lobstein all afternoon to make sure that he gets his first pitch strikes over the plate.
Pulled right by the third baseman Castellanos into left field. Nick was playing in on the grass, and that thing was hit like a rocket.
Let's take a look at the Tigers starting defense presented by Bill Fox Chevrolet. And left to right in the outfield, Cespedes, Ghost, J.D. Martinez, Iglesias, Kinsler up the middle. Castellanos and Miggy are on the corners. And the Tigers, for the most part, have played really good defense, but they have committed 3 errors in this series.
Here is Springer with a man on, a man out. And Springer looks at ball one.
And with all the right-handers that A.J. Hinch, the manager of the Houston Astros, is running at Lobstein this afternoon, the changeup is going to be a big pitch for him. He's going to have to fade it away from a lot of these over-swinging right-handed batters.
Springer takes ball 2 outside.
And very important for him to keep his double play in order. Lobstein, for the most part, throws a lot of ground balls. 58% of his outs are recorded on the ground.
Springer has not bounced into a double play this season, only 4 in his career, although a very young career at this point. 2-0 pitch. Outside, 3 balls, no strikes.
Not a given that Springer will take this fastball if Lobstein decides to throw it right down the middle. And we've already seen Gaddis swinging a 3-0 pitch in the series yesterday.
McCann flashing signs again here this afternoon. And he does go after the 3-0, and it's tipped into the glove. 3-1 on George Springer.
It's no coincidence why a lot of their hitters are hitting at 214, 192, 245. All or nothing.
Springer 4 for 8 in the series with an RBI. He checks in today at 214. And a lot of times when you're all for nothing, you'll see stats like 6 homers, only 16 RBIs, 5 homers, only 8 RBIs.
Right.
That's Castro's numbers. 3-1. Tigers at 26-17. The Astros at 27-16. Right back up the middle. Kinsler on the backhand, flips to Iglesias, one, and a double play.
Do it, boys.
Unbelievable turn down at second base. Kinsler, Iglesias on to Cabrera.
Not the last time you'll see this nifty double play today. It'll be all over every highlight for the rest of the evening. Sweet, sweet turn by the double play combo.
It looked like a base hit up the middle, but you can't get anything by Kinsler and Iglesias. Turn. The Tigers starting lineup presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Ghosts, Kinsler, Cabrera at the top. JD Martinez has been hot. He's playing in right field. Cespedes in left. Castellanos at third. A bottom three of Collins DHing today. Then McCann and Iglesias. And they are facing the right-handed offerings of Lance McCullers Jr.
He was untouchable in Double-A this year. He was recalled to Triple-A, but he didn't make a start there. He made his Major League debut here just 5 days ago, but you can see the numbers in the minors absolutely sparkling. McCullers has a fastball that will top out at about 97, average heater, about 94. He's got a real good curveball. He's got a power changeup, but he does not throw that changeup to any right-handed batters. However, he might need to do so today against some of these Tigers batters. Tim Hortons will sponsor the defensive alignment for the Houston Astros. Tucker, Marisnik, Springer in the outfield, Gonzalez, Altuve up the middle, Carter, VR on the corners, and Castro. He's their catcher once again today.
Anthony Ghost lines the first pitch, but right at the left fielder, Tucker, who comes on to make the play. One pitch, 1 out.
That is one of the benefits of playing very, very shallow. You could take away what looked like base hits off the bat, but he also was burned by a double yesterday off the bat of Anthony Ghost. He hit the ball over Tucker's head.
Here is Ian Kinsler batting .302. Kinsler 1 for 9 in the series, has been slowed a little bit here against Astros pitching.
Yeah, that's uncommon for him. And when he was wearing a Texas Rangers uniform, he wore out the Houston Astros.
Strike called on Kinsler. He's only had 3 hits on this homestand, 3 for 18. And McCullers slings one outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Lance is 21 years of age. That's it. 6'1", 208 out of Tampa, Florida. Breaking ball hammered back to the screen. 1-2.
And Gatorade Player of the Year back in 2012 when he was in high school.
If you watch McCullers' windup, it may resemble a former Tiger. He brings his hands over his head. And his favorite pitcher to watch growing up was Max Scherzer, and he has adopted that same type of windup that Scherzer used to have and still does. Over in the National League now with the Nationals. Here's the 2-2. Got him. Strike three. Kinsler is out of there. 2 gone.
Let's take one more look at the spectacular double play started by Ian Kinsler to end this inning. And you saw Lobstein kind of get out of the way of that, which allowed Kinsler to backhand it. He got it to Iglesias with the glove, and then Iglesias, he simply grabbed it and flipped it across the diamond very accurately for the double play. You won't see a better turn double play than that today.
Yeah, but you might see one tomorrow with those two.
No question.
Or the next day. Here's Cabrera. In there for a strike.
And McCullers not afraid of that fastball. We told you it will top out at 97. Most of the heaters he will throw here today will be in the mid-90s.
Oh, 0-2 the count. Defensively against Cabrera, they play to the left side of the infield.
And told you yesterday, A.J. Hinch told me they hope Miguel simply takes that base hit right there.
He'll do just that. A slicing line drive to right center field, and Cabrera with a 2-out single.
A.J. Hinch said yesterday if he can get Miguel to do that all series long, he'll be high-fiving his coaches as long as the bases are empty. It's an 0-2 pitch that's inside, and Miggy just pulls his hands in so nicely. And the thing that's so remarkable about Miguel, I mean, he will see a guy for the very first time and still have really good at-bats against him, where it takes a lot of the other players at least seeing the guy once or twice to get an idea of what that pitcher's doing out there.
Cabrera wasting little time and extending his hitting streak, 11 consecutive games now. Here is J.D. Martinez, who looks at a bender strike. J.D. had his 11-game hitting streak snapped and then promptly hit a 3-run homer in last night's game. So he has hit safely in 12 of 13. That slides outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And JD has the entire right side to himself too, should he try to shoot something in that direction. But we know JD can reach the seats if he goes to right field as well. He's done it 5 times already this season.
So what the Astros are telling you here is that anything on the ground, JD usually hits to the left side of the infield. Anything in the air or on a line typically will go the other way. And that's how they play him defensively. The 1-2. He checked it, but he went. Strike 3. And that'll be it for the Tigers. Couple of strikeouts for Lance McCullers. by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be. When it's time, come to Comerica. By Dodge, come discover great deals during the Dodge Drive and Discover event. And by Maxwell House, good to the last drop. Back here at Comerica Park on a gorgeous afternoon for a ball game. The Tigers Astros get together here for the third time in this 4-game series. Kyle Lobstein back to work, missing low to Evan Gattis. No runs, 1 hit for both ball clubs so far. Gattis has just 1 hit in the series. That was a triple in game 1. Lobstein's 1-0 pitch. 2 balls, no strikes. Gattis to be followed by Tucker and then Carter. 4, 5, and 6 in the lineup for A.J. Hinch. Here's the 2-0. Gattis skies one in the air toward right. That'll be playable for J.D. Martinez camping under it. 1 out here in the second.
That's something that the Houston Astros did a lot of last night against Alfredo Simon. They flew out or popped up 12 times in last night's game.
Here is Tucker. Had the big home run in game 1 of the series that tied the game off Soria in the 9th inning. The game the Tigers eventually won in 11.
And Tucker was wearing out the Pacific Coast League before his call up, and leading the minors in homers and RBI.
They've got the shift on against him. Castellanos playing at right field. Here's the 0-1. Pulled right into that shift and right at Castellanos to the grass. 2 gone. That is a 5-3 ground out. We'll bring up Chris Carter, and it also brings us to the Bernstein advantage, the pitcher-batter matchup. We're going to go Tigers against Carter. How about that? 17 games. Chris Carter is just 3 for 58.
Tigers have always had a lot of really good right-handed pitchers, whether it be Verlander, Sanchez, or Scherzer when he was here, and really he could do nothing with those 3. They just dominated Carter.
Well, in the 58 at bats, can break it down even further. 31 strikeouts. 1 ball, no strikes on the slugger. 0 for 8 with 3 punch-outs in this series as Lobstein misses outside.
And Carter's going to have to pick it up a little bit because John Singleton's performing very well in Fresno, their AAA affiliate. He has 13 homers and already 45 RBIs.
2-1 the count on Carter. Saw Singleton last year was called up when the Tigers were in Houston.
They gave him a 5-year contract too, so he's in the minor leagues playing with a 5-year major league contract.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Castro waiting on deck. The 2-2. Line into left field, out of the reach of Iglesias. 2-out single for Carter. So those numbers against the Tigers got a little bit better. Second hit of the ball game for Houston. It's going to bring up Castro. 2 for 3 last night, had a double in the ball game. Five home runs this year for Castro as they play the shift. One ball and no strikes on Castro.
Lobstein has fallen behind pretty much every single hitter that has come to the plate here today. It's not a really good recipe for success for Lobstein. Not a hard thrower. Top fastball about 88.
In there, a strike 1-1 on Castro. Former All-Star for the Astros back in 2013, hit 18 home runs a couple of years ago. And Conger caught game 1. Castro has caught the next 2. Bouncing ball back up the middle. Kinsler on the backhand. He'll go to shortstop. Iglesias covering at second, inning over. No runs, a hit. One man left. Detroit Tigers player of the game. It is presented by the 2 for $5 mix or match Filet-O-Fish and 10-piece McNuggets. Tigers batting now as we go to the bottom of the second. Cespedes will lead it off for Detroit. Yoenis and Castellanos, and then Tyler Collins, who is DHing today for Brad Ausmus.
McCullers with 2 strikeouts in the bottom half of the first inning, had 5 strikeouts in his major league debut 5 days ago, but he only pitched 4 2/3 innings that night.
First pitch is a little bit inside to Cespedes.
And if you're the Tigers, pretty much when he does fall behind you, you can expect a fastball in the mid-90s. He's not afraid of his heater.
Numbers Double-A, and I know you touched at this at the top of the broadcast, which is sick.
Right.
43 strikeouts in 29 innings, had an ERA of 0.62, and a 3-1 record when he was called up. Here's the 2-0 to Cespedes, and it's in there, a strike.
He has struck out a lot of minor league batters, averaging well over a strikeout per inning in the minors. You're talking about his windup resembles Maxwell Scherzer's. Have you seen what Scherzer is doing in Washington?
Yeah.
He is just dealing.
Doing what they expected.
Max has turned into one of the best right-handed pitchers in the game.
Here are the minor league career numbers on McCullers. 3.79 earned run average. Here's the 2-2 breaking ball, pounded on the ground at third. It's a foul ball.
McCullers was rated before this season began of having the best curveball in the minor leagues in Houston's organization. He's already thrown quite a few of them here today. He's got a great changeup, but he does not throw the changeup to the right-handed batters at all. But he's going to need something soft in the big leagues if he's going to have success. You can't get away with just 2 pitches.
MLB.com had him at number 10 in their system. Of course, he's rated higher with other folks like Baseball America, Baseball Prospectus. Here's the 2-2, and it's fouled away. When you look at McCullers, he's not a really big guy, and he's one of those guys that sometimes scouts, if they like what they see, they'll say, well, he's 6'1". If they don't, well, he's 5'11". But he's not an overly big guy. Here's the 2-2 again, and Cespedes laid off. Yoenis 3 for 7 in the series. Another breaking ball fouled out of play. I'd recognize the last name, McCullers. His dad pitched in the major leagues, including briefly with the Tigers. Pitched in about 9 ball games with the Tigers. That was back in 1990. His dad pitched mostly with San Diego over in the National League. This is becoming quite a battle here. Number 10 coming up in this at bat.
And McCullers continues to try to overpower Cespedes with that fastball, and Cespedes has been able to foul most of them off.
Pulled to third, behind the bag and bobbled by VR. Stays with it, throws high, runner is safe.
That is a nice job by Cespedes of really hustling down the line. And another error by a defender on the Houston Astros. And VR did not field the ball clean and came up on him. He didn't really panic. He went to go grab it, but by the time he went to go grab it and throw it across the diamond, he forced Carter to leap, and because he leaped, he was not able to get down on the bag, and Cespedes safe.
E5, and the Tigers have the leadoff man on here in the second. Here's Castellanos. I was talking to Nick about the shift today and how they play him, and as we know, Nick likes to go the other way, yet they play him to pull on the infield. And he said, well, it's simple. Their data says that when I put the ball on the ground, it's going to be to the left side of the infield. He goes, I'm not sure that's actually true, but that's what the numbers say. And it's the Astros, as we know, they certainly play the numbers heavily.
The one thing that I've noticed about the Astros, and I noticed it last year as well, that there are a couple of teams that do it, but you don't see nearly as many shifts with the right-handed batters as the Houston Astros employ. They employ a lot of shifts against right-handed hitters.
There's the ground ball hit to the left side. He'll throw to second one, and the relay, double play. So those Astros numbers apparently know what they're talking about. 2 gone.
Well, here's a little bit of McCullers' debut. It was against the Oakland Athletics. He pitched 4 2/3 innings. He threw 93 pitches in the game, and he had 5 strikeouts. They said he was a little amped up, but you can understand that. A guy making his major league debut at only 21 years old, but he's got a lot of physical skills.
4 2/3, 5 strikeouts, 1 run. Threw 93 in that ball game. Here is ball 1 to Tyler Collins.
And the one thing that he's going to have to do, and he'll be a good pitcher, he's just going to have to start to trust that changeup against some of the right-handed batters as well.
Ripped down the right field line, foul. Collins at 286, recently called up when Victor Martinez was placed on the disabled list. DHing today against the righty. Foul tip into the glove, 1-2. Collins the last 2 years in the minor leagues hit a lot of home runs. .39 to be exact. Two balls, 2 strikes. Astros right now have been getting some pretty good pitching at the major league level, especially out of the bullpen, but they have some guys coming. McCullers is one of them. Mark Appel, former #1 pick, is another. 2-2 is ripped on the ground to first and bobbled there by Carter, and the throw to first is in time. McCullers able to cover, and they're able to pull that off. We'll see if the Tigers want to challenge this. Got him. Good play. Tigers wave off the challenge. Tigers baseball today presented by Bell Tire. Astros. No runs, 1 hit for the Tigers. It'll be Marwin Gonzalez leading it off for Houston. Gonzalez, Marisnik, Altuve facing Kyle Lobstein, who delivers low. Gonzalez 0 for 3 in the series, batting .233 this year. 1-0 is ripped to left field, down the line and fair. Maybe extra bases. It'll carry him off the wall on his way to second. Gonzalez is in with a double. Leadoff 2-base hit for the Astros.
Cut fastball up at 86 that Gonzalez able to get in front of and hook over the head of Castellanos.
They caught a lot of plate.
Yeah, 2 of 8 in first pitch strikes so far for Lobstein. He's got to do a better job, and then he can exploit the weaknesses of the aggressive swingers they have. You get ahead with the fastball, then you can start to throw some breaking balls, some change-ups, and more fastballs out of the zone to see if you can get them to chase.
Here's Jake Marisnik. He's been good in these situations. 429 runners in scoring position.
He's got some good speed too.
Bouncing ball to second. Will advance the runner. 1 out. Game break time. Here's Johnny Kane. All right, Johnny, thanks. You see that every now and then. We saw it there with Price.
Tigers playing the infield in here with the leadoff hitter Jose Altuve standing in the batter's box. He's been hitting a lot of balls to the left side of the infield.
Altuve not bashful about swinging at the first pitch. He'll send this one out to Ghost. The runner will tag and score with ease. It'll be a sac fly and an RBI for Altuve. 25th RBI of the year for Altuve. And the Astros have a 1-0 lead. Base is empty now with 2 outs.
Houston Astros are 18-3 this season when they score first.
Jonathan Villar stands in. Singled in the first inning and then was erased on that spectacular double play the Tigers turned. Kinsler and Iglesias. Swing and a miss, 1-1.
Yeah, that double play they turned reminded me of one they also turned earlier this month on May 14th, but that was Iglesias that was starting that double play. And he got the ball to Kinsler. Kinsler barehanded it, and they turned it over. We watched that double play for a number of days on highlight shows. This is the one I'm talking about right here on May 14th. And if you missed it, this was today.
Swing and a miss. Villar is out of there. Inning is over, and the Astros get a run. Visit tigers.com/jersey and buy a special package to see the Tigers take on the Cubs June 9th and 10th. Exclusive packages are available only at tigers.com/1945 jersey. Here come the Tigers now. Astros are ahead 1-0. James McCann, Jose Iglesias, Anthony Gose facing Lance McCullers. 1 run, 3 hits for Houston. No runs, 1 hit for Detroit. And McCann swings in the first pitch and pops it up. First base side, and Carter is called off by Altuve. 1 out on 1 pitch. A lot of early swinging in this game. Here's Iglesias.
And the main reason why the Tigers are a lot of aggressive against McCullers is the fact that they know they're going to get a lot of first pitch fastballs.
Jose batting .322. In there, strike 1.
I was talking to Wally Joyner before the game today when the team was taking batting at practice, and he said McCullers has a lot of talent.
Grounded toward third, foul.
There's no denying that, but most young pitchers will make mistakes during the course of the game, and McCullers is no different than most young pitchers. The Tigers will be waiting for one of those mistakes.
Only 21 years old, native of Tampa, Florida. McCullers was a first-round pick, a supplemental pick rather. His dad, Lance Sr., was a second-round pick. That's nubbed off the end of the bat. Iglesias motoring down the line, and he is safe at first base, and he takes a tumble, and he comes up limping. Oh, no. Now the Tigers will have to take a look at Iglesias here.
His knee, his left knee hit the left knee of Carter's.
And down went Iglesias. He's going to try and walk it off. Doug Teeter is out there to take a look at
their medical staff is also out looking at McCullers.
McCullers threw that ball from the seat of his pants. So he'll get some warm-up tosses now.
McCullers slipped right before when he grabbed this ball with the bare hand.
So both guys are all right. Both will stay in the game.
That is now the 10th infield single for Jose Iglesias.
And the Tigers have their second hit of the game. Tying run is on now as they bring the top of the order up. Anthony Gose. Gose line one to the left fielder Tucker in his first at bat. Average of .328. Ball 1. That's in there, a strike. 1-1 on Gose.
It's a pretty good changeup here at 87 miles an hour thrown by McCullers. You can see the grip. It's a circle change with some nice fading action to it. Really good arm speed with that changeup as well, thrown by McCullers.
1-2.
So we've seen the changeup at 87. Nice breaking ball there at 84. and he's got a mid-90s fastball.
Pretty good repertoire. Here's the 1-2. Even the count now. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Ghost. 13 multi-hit games now for Anthony. Ghost had another one last night. Single, double. Had a bunt single in last night's game. And the 2-2. High, towering drive center field. He got into this one. Marisnik on the run. He looks up. It's off the base of the wall. Here comes Iglesias rounding third. He'll come in to score on a long double by Anthony Ghost.
Anthony Ghost absolutely killed that fastball thrown by McCullers.
It's 420 out in dead center. He hit the base of the wall.
Are you kidding me? He killed this.
I'm not sure he can hit a ball farther.
He can't. It's a shame you can hit a ball that far and not get a home run.
I think he thought he had a home run. Otherwise, he's probably standing at third.
No question. He was trotting.
You know what? After hitting the ball that far to dead center field, I'm not going to be mad at him.
I'd be trotting too.
Anthony Ghost just laid into that thing. It's a 1-1 ball game now. 3 hits for each team. Kinsler fouled it back 0-1.
I was having a conversation with Wally today, and we were talking about Ghost and the fact that he does not take batting practice on the field with the rest of his teammates. And Wally was telling me that when he was taking batting practice on the field, he would get so frustrated when the ball didn't do what he wanted it to do when he was batting. Therefore, they decided together that they would just hit in the cage before every game, not worry about hitting on the field. And the results have been outstanding for Ghost.
Well, now, what do you mean when you say the ball was not doing what he wanted it to do?
You know, he'd pop up here or he'd pull a ball here. He just didn't like the results, and he was getting frustrated.
1-1. Kinsler takes outside.
So they just stay in the cage. They've got a nice program with David Newhand, assistant hitting coach, and Wally Joyner. And Ghost has just, been unbelievable this year.
Yeah, they're probably not going to change that program anytime soon.
And there are a lot of hitting coaches that wouldn't allow a player to just hit in the cages. They would make them hit on the field. And that's part of your job.
Line to center field. Marisnik will come out and make the catch.
They might just put Miggy on here.
Well, he is our T-Mobile game changer in his 11-game hitting streak. Miguel Cabrera at 436 with 10 RBIs.
Well, I put him on those numbers like that.
He extended that hitting streak with a base hit in his first at-bat. They're not going to mess with him here.
Why would they?
I think this is, what is this now, 8 intentional walks? And there goes the runner to third as the ball gets by Castro.
It doesn't matter. They're still going to walk him.
That didn't work out real well. Wow. Check this out. Well, one more of those and the Tigers get a run. There's ball 2. 8th intentional walk for Miguel Cabrera this year.
JD won't take it personal. He'll simply try to get a good pitch to hit and drive Anthony Ghost in.
The 8 intentional walks, as you might expect, leads the American League.
Mike Trout also on that list. Victor Martinez and Altuve.
So here's Martinez. JD struck out in the first, but in his last 12 came in batting .386.
And McCullers got him swinging a breaking ball that bounced in front of home plate.
Little tapper back to the mound. McCullers has it. And he'll get the out at first to end the inning. Tigers tied up with a long double by Anthony Gose. Out to center field, a 420-foot double that scored a run, knocking home Iglesias. Ties this ball game up, and now Kyle Lobstein goes back to work. Lobstein facing George Springer, the number 3 hitter. It'll be Springer, Gaddis, Tucker, 3, 4, and 5. Check swing rolled foul, 0-1. Gonzalez had a double in the third, advanced on a ground out, scored on a sac fly by Altuve. That's how the Astros took a quick 1-0 lead that didn't last very long. Springer knocked into a double play back in the first.
First time that George had hit into a double play this year, and it needed a spectacular play by the Tigers middle infielders to turn it over.
Springer this past offseason went down to Florida to work out with Brad Miller, the shortstop of the Seattle Mariners. And Springer from Connecticut. The 0-2 pitch. A little bit outside. He was tired of the Connecticut winters, and so he called up his buddy, and Brad Miller says, you know what, I'm living with my folks down here in Orlando. If you don't mind staying with my folks. And he did, and they worked out together.
I bet they got fed good, too.
I'm sure they got some great meals. There's Gose drifting back. 1 out here in the 4th inning. This, by the way, is a 4-game series. The finale is coming your way tomorrow. Our coverage begins at noon with Tigers Live. Tigers and Astros tomorrow at 12 noon right here on Fox Sports Detroit.
Then it's off to the West Coast to see the struggling Oakland Athletics.
They're a different team this year, aren't they?
Yeah, they are struggling. They won 88 games last year, did Oakland. They're not going to come close to that this year.
Here's Evan Gaddis. Ball 1. Gaddis looks at a ball outside. 2-0 the count. Fly to right field in his first at bat. 6 of his 8 home runs have come here in the month of May. He pops this one up. Middle of the infield. Iglesias shading his eyes. 2 gone. Here you go. Here's the Tigers' next road trip.
Oakland has made 46 errors already this year in just 44 games. That is the most in the majors. And then it's that Mike Trout cat. Tigers did a nice job against Mike Trout last year. He didn't do a whole lot offensively against them, but he's an awesome player.
See the three pitchers the Tigers will face in Oakland? Not exactly Mulder, Hudson, and Zito anymore.
Was it Kazmir, Hahn, and somebody else?
And Chavez. Here's the 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strike on Tucker.
They always, for whatever reason, though, they always play the Tigers tough, and they have done so the last number of years.
Yep. It always seems to be that way. Of course, they met each other in the postseason a couple of years.
Yep. Developed a nice little rivalry. Two and
1 on Tucker. Now, you were mentioning all the errors that Oakland has made. Marcus Semien, who they traded for, has 16 errors already for Oakland.
I didn't even know he was a true shortstop. The White Sox never played him at shortstop, but of course they have Alexei Ramirez. He played a lot of third, a lot of second last year with the White Sox.
That is up and in, and the count fills now on Preston Tucker, 3-2.
Oakland struggling so much this year defensively. They hired their former third base coach, Ron Washington, the former manager of the Texas Rangers, to come in and work with the team on defense.
There's ball 4 to Tucker. I saw that. That was recently, right?
A couple days ago.
Yeah.
Wash has got some work to do.
Here's Carter. You just remember rolling into the Coliseum in Oakland years ago, and one of the first sights you would see early on before the game is Wash sitting in that bucket down the third base line, just
waiting for them guys to come out.
Just working with the infielders.
Yeah. A lot of guys won gold gloves there under Washington.
Ball 1 to Carter. Singled back in the second. Carter takes low, and the count goes 2-0.
Well, this is a dangerous count right here for Lobstein, especially with Carter in the batter's box. He's already homered 7 times. He has tremendous power. Fastball might not be the best pitch to throw here.
Here's the 2-0. Outside, now 3-0. Two-out walk to Tucker in a 1-1 game here in the 4th. Three and 1. Carter last year in the month of August hit 12 home runs, ended up with 37 on the year. He'll take another, and that's back-to-back walks after the first 2 were retired. First 2 walks in this game for Lobstein. He's going to bring out Jeff Jones. Well, you said it earlier, Rod. You really just can't live falling behind as often as Lobstein has in this game.
No, because the Houston Astros, they don't hit very high for average, but they've become much better hitters if they're always sitting in a 1-0 count or a 2-0 count.
Lobstein in this game has fallen behind 2-0 5 different times already. Jones done with his chat. By the way, the Tigers conclude their weekend series with the Astros on Sunday at 1:08. It's Sunday Kids Day. All kids 14 and under can run the bases after the game. If you'd like tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. Tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon at 1:08, Astros Tigers wrapping up this series.
What a wonderful crowd here today on Memorial Day weekend.
Not too many seats to be had this afternoon. Plenty of sunshine as well.
Gorgeous day.
Well, the shift is on now for Castro. 2 on, 2 out. We're in the 4th inning in a 1-1 ball game. Pickoff throw is close. Really close. Kinsler is pointing to his manager to check that out.
Did Kinsler have his foot in front of the bag? Did he slide right into his foot?
Oh, he may have.
Yeah, it might be tough to overturn that.
Yeah. I don't think you want to use a challenge on that.
Brad spent 10 years in a Houston Astros uniform, 2 different stints. And right now they're moving Castellanos over a little bit off the right field line defensively. He's in shallow right field.
One 1-0 to Castro.
And he has fallen behind everybody today.
Checked it low, and the count goes 2 balls, no strikes. Got a fly ball from Springer, a pop up from Gaddis, and then Tucker and Carter walked. And again, another 2-0 count. Lefties this year came in batting .219 against Lobstein. The 2-0. Snap throw back down to second, but not nearly in time. Well, here is the ratio on Lobstein after 50 pitches in this game, and you can see this is the byproduct of falling behind a lot. It's almost a dead even split. Fouled away. 2-2 on Castro. Astros yesterday took a 2-0 lead. It was the first time they had blown a lead of more than 1 run all season long. They jumped out on the Tigers 2-zip, and then Detroit got the 3-run homer from Martinez and added 3 more in the 8th. Low, 3-2. With the count full, the runners will be going here with 2 outs. Marwin Gonzalez due up next should Castro reach. And the 3-2 instead of bluff to second. Inside and down to first base goes Castro.
And Tigers going to have to get some activity in their bullpen.
Three straight walks now for Lobstein. And all of a sudden the bases are loaded with 2 outs for the Astros. So a team that has been very aggressive offensively at the plate has drawn 3 consecutive walks. And now here is Gonzalez, who hit a double in his last at bat and scored their first run of the game. There is action in the Detroit bullpen. That is Al Albuquerque. Don't normally see him warming up in the 4th inning. Ground ball to short. Iglesias will throw to second. They get the force, and nothing comes of the 3 consecutive walks. Lob's team pitching out of the jam. Back to the hill to start off his 4th inning of work. Did you know, Rod, that Lance McCullers is a big Batman fan?
I'm a huge Batman fan too.
Really?
I sure was.
Okay, well, have you ever worn Batman shoes?
Never had any Batman shoes, though.
This is what McCullers wore in his first start on Monday. He's got the Batman logo in the back of both of his shoes. He's not wearing them today because they pretty much told him to knock it off.
Really?
Yeah, but he's a big Batman fan. He was talking to George Springer. This is the quote. And he said something about the cleats that he had. Springer said, go ahead and wear them, man. He says, I love Batman. I have the trilogy and some other stuff. So he wore the Batman spikes. And he goes back to work here and throws the strike to Yoenis Cespedes. Not wearing them today because Major League Baseball says you're not permitted to do stuff like that. You can't display any corporate logos. There's a ball outside, 1-1 the count. So the Batman shoes have been retired for the time being. Cespedes waiting on a 1-1. There's that breaking ball and a big swing. Cespedes let go of the bat. Here's why he can't wear the Batman shoes. A player will not be permitted to display a corporate logo or other identifying marks on equipment, apparel, or outerwear, according to attachment 19 of the collective bargaining agreements. So the players agreed to that. Swing and a miss, and Cespedes retired, 1 out.
Kept everything down and away from Cespedes. And finally getting him on that really good breaking ball.
So McCullers now will go after Castellanos. He got him to bounce into a double play in his last at bat.
I know McCullers was absolutely dominating Double-A, but there's no question this is the best offensive lineup he's ever seen in his total pro career. And so far, he's doing a nice job.
Yeah, I mean, he gave up the infield single to Iglesias and then the double to Ghost, but that's it.
Working fast, looking confident. All the fastballs in the mid-90s. And Castellanos is going to get one of those 94-mile-per-hour fastballs right now.
Here's the 2-0. And did he go? Yes. It's Bob Davidson down at first. Said he went around 2-1.
If you're a right-handed batter, 2 balls and 1 strike. Usually throws you a fastball 100% of the time. At least he did in his first start in the big leagues. And there was another heater at 95.
There is something to be said about his pace. There's no doubt, man. He gets the ball and throws it,
Right.
which is always good for your defenders.
Good for our dinner plans tonight, too.
No doubt. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Castellanos is out. 4 in the strikeout column now for the right-hander McCullers.
All of his strikeouts have come on this curveball.
We are seeing why he was rated as the best curveball in the minor league system for the Astros.
McHugh, the guy that started last night for Houston, also had a really good curveball.
Collins fouls it away.
Tigers caught a little bit of a break in dodging the ace of the staff of the Houston Astros, Dallas Keuchel. His numbers are very eye-popping this year, Keuchel.
They are, but he's never really mentioned among the elite pitchers in the American League.
His numbers are up there with some of the best in the game in just about every category for a pitcher.
Keuchel, as a matter of fact, leads the American League in ERA.
Got the beard going too. He's got 6 wins, 1.67 ERA. Opponent's average sub-2, and he throws a lot of ground balls.
Is that the longest beard of any starter in the American League? It's got to be.
It's down there.
You know, when people are asked to name the best pitchers in the American League, you know, people talk about Felix Hernandez. Here's the 3-1. That is skied in the air to center field. Jake Marisnick staring into the sunlight. And it's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Lance McCullers. Dallas Keuchel looks on. 1-1 ball game. Bernstein Law Firm, official legal services sponsor of Fox Sports Detroit. Bell Tire, get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. Myers, save big with M-Perks from Myers. Sign up at mperks.com. And by Chevrolet. Find new roads. What a spectacular day for a ball game here in downtown Detroit. Tigers fans have packed into Comerica today. Great crowd. And right now it's a 1-1 ball game as we travel to the 5th inning. Clear skies above. There's a strike call from Kyle Opstein. Jake Marisnick is leading it off. Grounded out his first time up. Marisnick and then Altuve and VR. Shattered bat roll towards short. And Marisnick is out, 1 away. Meanwhile, the majority of his bat sitting right there.
And right off the end of the bat, a tailing fastball down and away from Rizek. That's a pitch that you probably should try to go the opposite way with, but and most of their right-handers are very pull happy, and that's what happens when you try to pull and the outside pitch. You usually hit it off the end of the bat toward the shortstop.
Here's Altuve.
Altuve trying anything to get on base these days. Boys, he's going through it right now. I don't think the Houston Astros have ever seen Altuve struggle the way that he's struggled the last 8 games.
He'll slice this one to center field. Goats will make the catch.
His batting average now, Altuve, is under 300. He was hitting 340 a week ago.
Really the only time they can compare this is when he first came up a few years back. He had a slow stretch, but nothing like this after he's become one of the top hitters in baseball. So he is 0 for 2 in this game with the sacrifice. Here's Jonathan Villar.
And there are some that travel with the Houston Astros group that say that Altuve simply needs a day off. Plays every day.
Ball 1 to Villar.
It's tough to give your best player a day off, but sometimes you do have to give them that a mental day off, especially when they're struggling. Get away from it for a day.
2-0. There's the ratio on Lobstein, as you see, is still not all that good. That ball's rifled to left right off the glove of Castellanos.
That's the second time that VR has hit an absolute missile on a right past Castellanos. I guess bunting must be part of the game with VR. The reason why Castellanos plays him in so close, but he's nearly gotten killed twice by VR.
2 on base hit. Hit number 4 for the Astros. That'll give Springer a chance. Knocked into a double play in the first inning. Runner goes. They've got him picked off. Throw down to second. Tag is made. Inning is over. So VR a little bit too aggressive. Is picked clean by Lobstein. That'll end the inning. Tigers baseball today presented by Bell Tire.
by Lobstein. VR takes off too soon, and then Miggy, he comes to get the baseball, which clears the view to fire the ball down to Ian Kinsler to apply the tag.
Lobstein was just out a couple of days ago working on that pickoff move. And it came in handy there as they nabbed Jonathan VR. So the Tigers hit in the bottom of the 5th inning. James McCann starting things off. McCann, Iglesias, and Gose.
I know the last couple of years, Kenny Rogers was in spring training working with some of the left-handed starting pitchers and the relievers on their move, but I did not see Kenny this year.
I didn't either. He had a really good move. Andy Pettit.
Yep.
A couple of guys that
Dallas Keuchel, their starting pitcher that we were talking about earlier of Houston's, also has a good pickoff move.
Here's the 2-1. 2-2 on McCann. Asking for further explanation from Hunter Wendelstedt, the home plate umpire. Here's the 2-2. Fouled off. Hunter's dad, Harry, used to umpire in the big leagues. In fact, Harry was a longtime National League umpire from '66 to '98. And Hunter has followed in his footsteps.
Big league umpires do a really good job. Outstanding job, as a matter of fact.
Ooh, that bender just missed inside. 3-2.
They pay you well. You get great benefits. You get a chance to travel to all the great cities that have major league squads.
Here's the 3-2. Slice to right field. It's down a base hit and more. It'll get by Springer. McCann motoring to second. He'll take the turn but hold. It's going to be a leadoff double for James McCann.
McCann wasn't necessarily trying to hit the ball down the right field line, but he took a good path to get to this 95-mile-per-hour fastball that was nearly by him. And he whistled it down in the right field corner off the glove of Springer. McCann thought about going for 3, but then he thought better of that and didn't want to force the issue.
Go-ahead run at second base. McCann's 5th double already this year.
Iglesias can really handle the bat. He could simply sacrifice McCann to third, or he could use his bat to hit something past the first baseman, Carter, who is basically playing down the throat of Iglesias. On the corner over here, too, you have VR. Also playing very shallow.
Iglesias in this situation puts so much pressure on the defense with the different things that he can do. And that's going to bring the catcher Castro out to the mound.
And the one thing regarding Iglesias this year, he's been one of the toughest batters to strike out in the American League. He's done a lot of really positive things in the first 2 months of the year. It's been stellar.
Well, now the count is 0-2.
That's a good breaking ball to hit right there. It was a hanging breaking ball thrown by McCullers, who's thrown quite a few of those breaking balls today. Iglesias up there fighting for his life now. No balls and 2 strikes.
To right field, slicing away. That'll go foul. Oh, 0-2 on Jose Iglesias. Leadoff double by McCann here in the 5th. Tigers 1, Astros 1. Little cue shot hit to first base. Carter has nobody covering. That's going to be a base hit.
That is a rookie mistake by the rookie pitcher, McCullers. When the ball is hit to the right side of the infield, you've got one job and you've got one job only, and that's to get to the bag. He's just standing there, and then by the time he realized that he needed to be on first base, too late for Carter, who made the play to get the ball to the pitcher. and another infield single for Iglesias, which gives him 11 on the season.
It's going to bring Brent Strom out there, pitching coach.
Here is the Nissan drive of the game. Anthony goes the last time he stepped up with Iglesias on first base. He caught one of those mid-90s fastballs and hit it off the 420 sign in center field for a double and an RBI.
So the Tigers in great shape right now here in the 5th inning. They have men at first and third, nobody out. A couple of infield singles for Iglesias in this game.
That's a good visit there by their pitching coach, Brent Strom. And the rookie clearly a little upset at himself by not doing his job and getting over to first base. And so he went out to tell him, don't worry about it. You need to think about, getting these next hitters out.
Ghost 1 for 2 RBI double. And to produce his 9th RBI of the year. Showing bunt, strike one.
Another piece of information that's usually given to you by your pitching coach in this situation with a runner on third and nobody out. You have to forget about that guy. He's going to score. But you have to concentrate on the next guys to eliminate the damage, to limit the damage in the inning.
Here's the 0-1. Ghost just seems to get stronger in his plate appearances as the game goes on. In his 3rd appearance against starters this year, Anthony is hitting .400. This is his 1st at bat, or 4th at bat, I should say, in this game. So, see if he can drive in a run or two here. The 1-1. Soft line drive or hop to second, and they throw it away. Altuve just flipped it into left field. Run will score. Ghost is safe. Iglesias safe at second. Break for the Tigers. They lead 2-1.
That is I believe, the first error of the year for Jose Altuve. He's about as sure-handed at second base position as there any in the American League. Once he grabbed this ball, they weren't going to turn 2, but they clearly would have got the out at second base. But the shortstop Gonzalez had no chance at even catching that baseball.
So Altuve is charged with an error. He has not had a good series.
Nope.
With the bat, and now with that play, and here comes.
They're going to check on Altuve. Jose.
Iglesias is, you might remember, was hobbled on that last infield hit when he banged legs with Chris Carter. And Brad's saying, be honest with me here. They're going to take him out.
He didn't look good when he was running from first here, and he really pulled up once he got to second base, and Brad noticed that, and that's the reason why Iglesias is coming out of the game.
Oh, yeah, you can tell. Here's that play in his first at bat, right there where he banged knees with the first baseman, Chris Carter. So Hernan Perez will come on a pinch run down at second. There is still nobody out in this inning. And the Tigers now have a chance to have themselves a big inning, because they've got the meat of the lineup coming up.
Last 3 games, the bottom 3 in the Tigers batting order, whether it be Castellanos, McCann, Iglesias, they've been getting it done. And turning that lineup over for Ghost, Kinsler, and Miggy.
Yeah, it's a good point. Today, McCann has double, Iglesias 2 hits.
They've got 30 hits in the last 3 days against Houston Astros pitching. And a lot of those have come at the bottom of that order.
Kinsler takes outside. Now the count goes 2-0.
Well, if you're in Kinsler, you pretty much know what you're going to get here from McCullers. It's going to be a fastball. Ian is a good fastball hitter.
2-1. Here are the numbers by inning for McCullers. He has hit 80 total pitches now, and the breakdown looks like this. The 2-1. Ground ball to third. He'll tag the bag one, throw to second, two, relay to first. Is a triple play for the Astros.
Whoa.
A triple play. VR to Altuve to Carter.
Whoa.
How about that? They'll swing it around the horn. 5-4-3. Triple play.
To be kidding me. And VR playing in front of the bag, gets a one-hopper off the bat of Kinsler. He takes a step, tags third, flyers to Altuve. Altuve turns it over, and they turn a triple play with Ian Kinsler running down the first baseline. You got to be kidding me.
Lance McCullers living large. It was his inability to make a routine, I guess, fundamental play by not covering first base, and it looked like it might be a big inning because of that, and he gets a triple play turn behind him. No big deal. 2-1 is our score as Lobstein goes back to work.
And you have to give VR, the third baseman, a lot of credit for that, because a lot of times the third baseman, when they get a ball like that and a guy like Kinsler is running, they will simply go to the bag and then throw the ball across the diamond to get two. But he alertly got three out of it.
Here's the 1-1 to Springer, who sends a ground ball to short. Perez throws him out. Last time the Tigers hit into a triple play was in May of 2009 against Texas, and Kinsler was involved in that one, only he was helping to turn it. This one he bounced into. Irony. Here's Evan Gattis with one out. So the damage was minimal. The Tigers got one. They lead 2-1. Oh, and 1 on Gattis.
And good changeup there thrown by Lobstein to the power hitter, Evan Gattis.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Lobstein today 8 of 22 on first pitch strikes. Yet here he is leading this ball game 2-1 as we play in the 6th. He's at 7-2-0 counts. Way outside. 3-1 now on Gattis. Preston Tucker waiting on deck. Fouled away. 3-2 on Gaddis. Jeff Jones chatting with Brad Ausmus in the Tiger dugout. Little pop up right side. Cabrera foul ground. Waiting. 2 gone. Game break time. We check in with Johnny Kane. All right, Johnny, thanks. Here it is 2-1 in favor of the Tigers. There's a big swing there by Tucker. Those Cleveland Indians starting to show some life as well in the Central. They've won 4 straight.
Yeah, but they can't pick up any ground.
No.
Because Kansas City at the top of the division's also won 4 straight. The Tigers have won 3 straight.
That'll be outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. The last triple play turned by Houston was in August of 2004. That was against the Phillies. That's into right field, base hit. So Tucker is on base for the 2nd time in the game. 2-out single. And that'll keep it going now for Chris Carter, who's been on twice. Single and a walk. Tigers earlier in the game had Albuquerque warming up. That was back in the 4th when Lobstein walked 3 straight hitters with 2 outs, but got out of the jam. Carter drills one to center field. That'll drop in, base hit. His 2nd hit today. Looks like Al is up again in the Detroit bullpen. It's going to bring Jeff Jones out.
Yeah, they're going to buy a little time for Albuquerque.
Well, fans, in honor of Memorial Day weekend, Fox Sports proudly supports Folds of Honor and its mission of providing educational scholarships to families of military members who have been killed or disabled while serving our country. If you'd like more information, please visit foxsportssupports.com. We hope your Memorial Day weekend is going as planned. And thanks to families and the members of our military who've made sacrifices over the years for us. Got a great gathering here at the ballpark today and a gorgeous afternoon. So here is Castro now with 2 on, 2 out. Lefty-lefty matchup here. Ball 1. 2 runs on 5 hits for the Tigers. The Astros a run on 6 hits. Sliced back up the middle into left field. That's going to be a base hit against the shift. That'll score a run. Throw is way off the line. Got away from McCann. That'll advance Carter to 3rd. A run scores as Tucker comes in. It's a 2-out run for the Astros, and we're tied at 2.
And Tigers don't get burned very often by overshifting, but they got burned here. And they had three members on the right side of the infield, nobody playing shortstop, and Castro hit it right in the vacated spot for the tying run.
It's going to be it for Lobstein. He will depart the scene. Single RBI, E7 on the play. Wall side windows pitching change. Here comes Albuquerque. His afternoon is done as the Tigers go to the bullpen now, and now Albuquerque will check in.
Albuquerque pitching in the 17th game. These earned run average is a lot higher than it should be for the skill set that Albuquerque has, but he struggled the first month of the season. But in his last 8 games, he has started to get it together. He has not given up a run in his last 8.
Best in the American League. Only 16% of the inherited runners have scored. He's got 2 outs here with runners at first and third. Marwin Gonzalez will hit. In there, a strike.
Albuquerque has inherited 4 base runners this year when coming in the game. Only one of those have come around to touch home plate.
Time called as Gonzalez steps out. Astros now have 7 hits. Tigers have 5. Oh, 2 on Marwin Gonzalez. 2-base hit back in the third to lead things off. Eventually scored their first run. Very versatile performer, can play most infield positions. In fact, has played first base this year as well for the first time. He's got Carter at third. He's got Castro at first. The 0-2. Back up the middle into center. That's going to be a base hit. That'll score another run. Carter comes in to score. Castro goes to third, and the Astros have taken the lead. That is 4 straight hits for Houston. All of them 2-out hits.
It's a fastball that is right down the middle. And a really good swing there by Gonzalez.
Here's Jake Marisnick. McCann blocks it. Keeping Castro at third base. Marisnick has hit the ball on the ground a couple of times, 0 for 2. He is now 0 for 7 in this series. That's in for a strike. 1-1. Marisnik played his high school ball at Riverside Poly High School in Riverside, California. It's a high school that produced back in the day Bobby Bonds. Another good pickup by McCann. Of course, that was back in the 60s for Bobby Bonds, the class of 1964. Marisnik, highly thought of prospect. Originally drafted by Toronto, then went to the Marlins, and now with the Astros. Two one, low, 3-1. There's Gorzolani warming up now in the Detroit bullpen. Full count.
Well, if you throw that slider 3-1, you may as well come back and throw it 3-2.
Fouled it off. Gonzalez on the move from first base with 2 outs. The Astros in this game turned a triple play in the bottom of the 5th inning, which turned the tide a little bit, and now the Astros have responded with 2 runs in the 6th to take the lead. Soft line drive right at Kinsler, who snatches it out of the air to retired side. A couple of runs in, Astros take the lead as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Miguel Cabrera leads it off for the Tigers. Sixth inning here at Comerica Park, and just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one to look forward to Miller time later in today's game, it's brought to you by Miller Lite. Big crowd, nice day for baseball, and right now the Tigers have some work to do. They are down by a run. Miguel Cabrera, J.D. Martinez, Yoenis Cespedes.
And Miggy had his glasses on. He started strolling toward home plate. Then he turned around and flipped the glasses back to someone in the dugout. So no glasses in this at bat for Miggy. That triple play last half inning was huge. The fact that McCullers did not have to face Miggy with all those runners in scoring position.
Miggy a single and an intentional walk and a wave and a miss.
First curveball that he's thrown to Miggy here today.
McCullers allowed a run in the 5th, but it could have been a lot worse. Cabrera extended his hitting streak to 11 consecutive games with a single in the first inning. Swatted at, and this one heading down the first base line, back out of play. If you're wondering what Cabrera's longest hitting streak of his career is, it's 20, and he did that back in 2010. So he's 9 shy of that. Right now it's the 11 gamer. JD Martinez recently had an 11 gamer. Now McCullers with the 1-2. Still mid-90s with that fastball for McCullers. He's given up 5 hits, 2 runs. 21-year-old rookie. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Cabrera is out of there.
We're going to make this our bell tire pitch by pitch. McCullers, the first time he throws the breaking ball to Miguel Cabrera today, and a good majority of the pitches that he threw to Miggy in this sequence were the breaking balls. Showed him the fastball before finally finishing him off with another really good curveball.
That one sails high on JD. Strikeout, ground out for Martinez in this game.
McCullers is pitching totally different in this game than we were told that he would pitch. We were told he would throw a lot of mid-90s fastballs, and that would be the pitch that he would use most of the day. But he has thrown a lot of off-speed pitches today against the Tigers hitters. Tigers come in hitting .280 as a team, second only to the Kansas City Royals.
Got the benefit of that call. 1-2 on the former Astro JD Martinez.
Here is our Xfinity high-speed pitch on Lance McCullers. 96 top fastball, 80 with one of those curveballs.
Little high,
still throwing hard. 90 pitches in, that last fastball, 96. A lot of hard, young throwing pitchers in the major leagues these days.
Line drive to left, dropping in, base hit. One out single.
Menards brings you the big money encounter in this series. The starters, 25 hits and 10 runs.
So the Tigers doing some pretty good things offensively here against a Houston staff that came in with some decent numbers. Today, though, they've been limited to 2 runs on 6 hits. They've got the tying run on here in the 6th. Cespedes, the batter. And as they do with a lot of these right-handed hitters for the Tigers, they swing around to the left side of the infield. They've already turned 1 double play and 1 triple play in this game. Harris, the right-hander, tuning up. Cespedes gets under this one into right field. Springer coming on. 2 gone. So McCullers trying to get through 6 innings here. He's got Nick Castellanos to deal with. Houston's bullpen this year is second only to the Royals in earned run average. The Houston pen is at 2.19.
both the Tigers and the Houston Astros have improved drastically in the bullpen department. And last year, the Houston Astros had the worst bullpen in the majors at a 4.80 earned run average, and the Tigers bullpen wasn't much better. They checked in at 27th and with a 4.28 ERA. But this year, both teams good bullpens.
Yeah, the Astros are second and the Tigers are third in the American League in bullpen ERA. Here's the 1-0. Word on Iglesias is a contusion on his left knee day to day, which is what we expected. He banged knees with Carter down that first base line early in the game. Meanwhile, Castellanos has gone 2-0. Make it 3-0. Tyler Collins waiting on deck. Houston has the lead. They scored 2 in the top of the 6th. Go-ahead run coming in on the Marwin Gonzalez RBI single. J.D. Martinez, the runner at first for Detroit. Here's the 3-0. 3-1 on Castellanos. Fouled out of play. 3-2 now on Nick. We talk about some of the league leaders in triples. Castellanos' name doesn't really come to mind very quickly, but he is second with three baggers already this year. Gose has 3 triples. Rajay Davis, those guys you would think about it because of the speed. But this is a triples haven here at Comerica. Again, the 3-2, and he got him strike 3. Castellanos out on strikes. Lance McCullers through 6 has a 1-run lead. Wrong reasons. The Warriors try and bury Houston, go up 3-0 in their Western Conference Final Series, and the Blackhawks try and even things with the Ducks. Jay and Dan will have it all. You can see Fox Sports Live tonight at 11 on Fox Sports 1 or see a simulcast right here on Fox Sports Detroit. Well, here we go now to the top of the 7th. It is 3-2 in favor of the Astros. Al Albuquerque back out there. And the first one is in there to Altuve for a strike. Jose had a sac fly back in the third, knocking in a run. Otherwise 0 for 2, and now 1 for 11 in this series. That's it for a strike, and it's 0-2. Well, this is something Altuve doesn't do a whole lot of, and that's see pitches. 1, 2, and now so far 2 in this at bat. And he swings and misses.
That's why many people believe that he is better suited for the number 2 slot and not the leadoff spot, because he doesn't take a lot of pitches, very aggressive. But he does have tremendous hand-eye coordination. It's just not working for him in the last 8 days. He's scuffling right now.
His average is a little over 3 per at bat, 3 pitches for at bat, which is the lowest in the American League.
We might see Jose Altuve with a day off tomorrow. He could use one.
Here's Jonathan Villar with 1 out. No balls, 1 strike. Villar 2 singles in this game, 2 out of 3.
And Castellanos still playing 5 feet in front of that third base bag with Villar in the batter's box. Villar has already singled twice past Castellanos, but he was batting right-handed on those 2 occasions off of Kyle Lobstein.
Albuquerque came on for Lobstein in the 6th. Al fires it home, missing away, 2-1. Now 2-2 on Villar. Houston came in the best team in the West. They still are. 4.5 game lead over the Angels. However, the Tigers have dealt them a couple of losses here. Still pretty good road record at 12-6. Strike called. So Albuquerque gets a pair of strikeouts here in the 7th.
Yeah, the Tigers desperately need Albuquerque to start to pitch the way that he has pitched in the last 9 games, where he has not given up a run. That's not a great breaking ball there thrown by Albuquerque, but when he is throwing his good breaking ball, that backup slider is not a bad pitch for him. But they need him to pitch successfully deep in that bullpen.
Springer looks at a strike.
And since the beginning of 2013, Houston really has had no success against the Tigers. And the Tigers have beaten the Houston Astros in 12 of their 16 meetings since 2013.
They've been able to handle Springer today. He came in 4 for 8 in the series. Couple of hits in the first 2 games. 1-1 is in there. 1-2 on Springer.
Albuquerque throws so many breaking balls that if you find yourself looking for that breaking ball, you've got no chance to catch up to the 95-mile-per-hour fastball.
Lobstein 5 2/3 today. Albuquerque got the final out of the 6th, and 2 punch outs here in the 7th. Strike called, and Albuquerque with an impressive 7th inning strikes out the side. He got Altuve, Villar, and Springer. Coming up, the Dick Scott Automotive 7th inning stretch. Astros got the lead on a sac fly by Jose Altuve. Then the Tigers tied it up when Anthony Ghost went right off the center field wall, doubling in Iglesias.
And another nice day by Anthony Ghost, who continues to get it done. That was an error by Altuve, a rare mistake by Altuve. That's the first error he's made this season. Yeah, but this Houston Astros team, they just keep coming at you. They have been a very good team late in games against other teams' bullpens this year.
Meanwhile, Will Harris is on now in a Walsag Windows pitching change.
And we saw him the other day. He's got some lights out stuff, and you can see where his ranks are in the American League among relievers in ERA, opponent's batting average, and also innings.
Tyler Collins takes a rip as we start things here in the bottom of the 7th. Collins, McCann, Perez, 7, 8, 9 in the Tigers lineup. Jose Iglesias had to leave the game with a contusion in his left knee. That has popped up. Shallow center field. This might be trouble. Nope, it's going to be caught on the run. Marisnik runs it down. One away. Here's James McCann. Another hit today for McCann, doubled, scored a run in the 5th. 5 for 11 in the series. He delivered a big blow yesterday, late in the game, putting it out of reach as he delivered the 2-run single in the 8th. Here's the 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike on McCann. Will Harris, born in Houston, lives in Houston. 30 years old. Broke into the big leagues a couple of years ago with Colorado, the last 2 seasons with Arizona. Two-1 to McCann. 2-2 now on James. Both starters out of the ball game now. Lobstein and McCullers. Here's Hernan Perez waiting on deck. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. McCann down on strikes, 2 gone.
Harris has got a nice fastball, cut fastball at 93, and gets lots of swings and misses on it. Look at that ball just move to the outside part of the plate.
Here's Perez, his first at bat. Hernandez 0 for his last 12. Iglesias had a couple of infield singles before departing. Harris ball 1 high. Again, that bullpen for the Astros, 2.19 ERA, second best behind KC. Two and 0. The Astros are 24-2 this year when they lead after 7 innings. They've got a slight lead right now, 3-2 in the 7th. 2-1. Now even the count, 2-2 on Perez. Should he reach, Ghost would be next. Tigers have not scored since the 5th when the error by Altuve. Allowed a run to score for the Tigers. They went up 2-1 at that point. Breaking ball, down goes Perez, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Harris. 7 in the books here at the ballpark. Let's go to the 8th.
For the Tigers, it's the top half of the 8th inning. Albuquerque was outstanding in the 7th. He struck out the side on one fastball, and he was able to get the next 2 on breaking balls. Not a great breaking ball to get VR, but a much better breaking ball to get Springer. Nice job by Albuquerque.
Ellis out there now for another inning as he works the 8th. It'll be Evan Gattis to lead it off, and there's the strike called. 3 runs on 8 hits for the Astros, 2 runs, 6 hits for the Tigers.
And Gattis is more than likely the last batter that Albuquerque will face here today.
Oh, 0-2. Got him, strike 3. Albuquerque carves him up, and that's 4 straight strikeouts for Al.
I see Albuquerque. Gattis up there sitting on that slider, and Albuquerque threw that fastball at about 94. They got a lot of plate, and Gattis couldn't pull the trigger on it.
So 1 2/3 innings of work for Albuquerque.
And a lot of strikeouts. That's the Albuquerque that we know and love.
He'll be taken out of the ball game now as Brad Ausmus comes out to take the ball, and we will step aside. Pitching change at Comerica. On sale now. Groups of 15 or more get discounted tickets to select games. 313-471-BALL is the phone number, or check it out online, Tigers.com. Albuquerque, nice job. He'll give way now to lefty Tom Gorzelani.
And Gorzelani has struck out 11 batters this year and walked only 4. The earned run average just a shade over 3. Pitching in his 15th game out of that bullpen. He also has 2 holds.
So with 1 out, it'll be the left-handed batting Preston Tucker to stand in against Gorzelani. Tucker a walk and a single plus a run scored in this game. Astros have the lead 3-2. We're in the 8th. Game 3 in this series. Shift on against the left-handed batting Tucker. Swings at the first 0-1.
And surprisingly, overall, Gorzelani getting hit around this year against left-handers. Left-handers hitting .333 against him in the 14 games prior to today that he's been in. Right-handers at .267.
Tried to hold up, couldn't do it. 0-2.
A couple of big sweeping breaking balls thrown to Tucker to get ahead of him.
Tucker played his college ball at the University of Florida, where he was the all-time hits and RBI leader there. And the 0-2. He laid off that one. A little bit too far outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Tucker.
You might be able to throw a well-located fastball up there and get strike 3, and Tucker might not even pull the bat off his shoulder. He might just be looking for another one of those real slow breaking balls. Here comes that heater. We'll see if it works.
He swings and skies it to center field. Hit pretty good. Playable, though, as Ghost backpedals almost to the warning track. 2 gone. Bring up Chris Carter. On base 3 times today, Carter. 2 singles, walk. He has scored a run. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Tigers will have the top of the lineup coming up when we get to the bottom of the 8th. Here's the 0-1. Lobstein started, relieved by Albuquerque, who gives way to Gorzelani. Albuquerque struck out 4 in his outing today. 2-1 is lifted back out of play. Castro on deck. Should Carter reach? 2 runs, 6th inning. The difference right now for Houston. They have the lead 3-2. Here's the 2-2. Got him. Strike 3. Carter caught looking. It's off for the Astros in the 8th. As we go to the bottom of the inning, Tigers have the top of the lineup coming up. Anthony Ghost gets it started for the Tigers. Then Ian Kinsler. And then the big fella, Miguel Cabrera. Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be. When it's time, come to Comerica. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives to Motor City. Wallside Windows, we can do that. We are the factory. And by Cherry 5-Hour Energy Shots, helping support Special Operations Warrior Foundation. Well, back here in the Motor City, the Tigers in the Astros going to the bottom of the 8th. It's 3-2 Houston right now. Tigers trying to get the bats going here. We've got a new pitcher. It'll be the left-hander coming out of the bullpen. That'll be Joe Thatcher.
And Thatcher is a left-handed specialist out of that bullpen for the Houston Astros. In the 14 games that he has been in 8 of those, he has pitched less than 1 inning. Rajai Davis going to pinch hit for Anthony Gose.
So Thatcher brings it home, and it's ball 1. Rajai Davis in a pinch hitting role here. He'll be followed by Kinsler and Cabrera. Rajai batting .281. Fly ball left field. Ball hit pretty good. Colby Rasmus going back. Track wall, leaps and makes the catch.
Colby Rasmus just put in, before the inning started, defensive replacement, and goes back and makes a nice play as Rajai Davis makes a bid for a home run.
Ball probably wasn't going to get out, but a nice leaping play anyway by Rasmus. That's going to be it for Thatcher. He'll depart the scene. Another pitching change. We'll be back. That is up to the moment, at any moment, with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, and a whole lot more. Get at bat for your smartphone or your tablet. Ted Neshek now is the new pitcher for Houston.
And Tigers saw a lot of Neshek a few years ago when he was pitching out of the bullpen for the Minnesota Twins. He is doing an outstanding job out of the bullpen for the Houston Astros. He has not walked one batter this year out of that bullpen.
Kinsler is 0 for 3.
And Neshek throws from underneath. Not a hard thrower. Fastball 90-91 with a big looping breaking ball.
0-2. Neshek with the Twins from 06 through 2010. San Diego, Oakland, St. Louis his other stops. Here's the 0-2. One for 7 career versus Neshek. And right now Kinsler in a 3 for 21 stretch as well. hit into that triple play back in the 5th inning, which remains the biggest play of the game.
Yeah, that turned the whole complexion of the game around. They had the youngster Lance McCullers on the ropes with Miguel Cabrera coming up to the plate.
Popped up. First base side for Carter. Drifting. 2 outs. Well, here comes Cabrera.
He's had a little bit of success against Nishak. 2 for 3 with a homer.
Miggy 1 for 2 today. He's been walked intentionally. Single strikeout his other 2 times. Swing and a miss. Cabrera came in with 10 RBIs in his last 12 games. Nishek down with the 0-1. In there, 0-2. Some of the infield is covered by the sunlight right now, but the mound and the plate both covered in shadows. Hardy and Soria in the Detroit bullpen. Miggy fouled that one off. How difficult route is it to face an arm angle like this after seeing conventional pitching the whole game?
You got to really concentrate, and if you're a right-handed batter, you really have to concentrate on keeping that front shoulder in there a little bit longer against a guy that throws from underneath. The Nishak's not going to try to overpower you inside. Most of the stuff that he throws you going to be that breaking ball, that 2-seamer outside, so you have to stay on it.
Bouncing ball left side of the infield, gobbled up by Gonzalez, and the Tigers will go 1-2-3 here in the 8th, which means we go to the 9th. All right, Johnny, thank you. The Indians trying to win their 5th in a row. Here the Tigers will need a comeback. They are down 3-2. And we have a new pitcher now for the Tigers. That would be lefty Blaine Hardy.
And Blaine Hardy, last 11 in the 3rd innings pitched. No runs given up, and he's punched out 11. So that earned run average started out really high. In his first couple of outings has started to inch its way down. It sits at 3.45 right now for Blaine.
Rajay Davis stays in the game. He'll play center field. Bottom of the order coming up against Hardy. It'll be Castro to lead it off. Jason had a huge hit, a single. That was back in the 6th inning.
Yeah, Tigers were overshifting him at the time, just as they are right now. And he hit the ball right where the shortstop normally would have been standing.
That tied the game at 2, and then the next hitter, Gonzalez, singled in a run to make it 3-2. Neither team has a run since then. Here's the 1-1. Castro now with 9 RBIs. Three balls, 1 strike. There's Gonzalez waiting on deck. Swing and a miss. 3-2. Tigers bullpen has done well here tonight. They've had Albuquerque, who struck out 4 in his outing, Gorzolani 2/3, and now Blaine Hardy in the 9th inning. Now the 3-2. And he got him. Strike 3. Castro thought he had a walk.
And Blaine Hardy's found that strikeout pitch the last 12 times he's gone out there. He's averaged at least 1 strikeout per outing in his last 12. That might have been a shade off the plate, but maybe too close to take with 2 strikes.
Well, Castro thought it was outside. Here's Gonzalez. Tigers bullpen now has struck out 6 of the last 7 batters they've faced. 2 out of 3 for Gonzalez. RBI single put them ahead back in the 6th. The 0-1 popped up. Shallow right field for J.D. Martinez. 2 gone.
Take a look at the Jimmy John's freaky fast delivery of the game. Lance McCullers really handcuffed the Tigers here today. The rookie right-hander making his 2nd major league start, only gave up 6 hits, 2 runs, which both were earned, and he had 6 strikeouts. Most of his fastballs were 94 to 96 miles an hour this afternoon. He's got a bright future.
Swing and a miss by Jake Marisnick. He's batting with 2 outs here. Hardy trying to keep this a 1-run game, give the Tigers a chance in the 9th. There's Luke Gregerson, their closer. He has been throwing. Here's the 0-2. Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And 40,000 people here today in attendance, but for the most part, the Houston Astros have kept it quiet. Haven't had a whole lot to cheer about today.
Well, they still have 3 big outs to go. And they got some pretty good hitters coming up as well. That'll get back out of play. 1-2 on Marisnick. 40,153 your official attendance here this afternoon at Comerica. And again the 1-2. Another foul, back out of play.
I watched a couple of Houston's games last week, and despite them getting off to a great start and one of the best starts in their franchise history, the fans aren't coming out yet to
really?
Houston games. Nope.
They're not believing yet, huh?
Nope. I was surprised. Not drawing many fans at all.
Slow roller toward third, gonna let it roll foul.
Pick it up.
Yeah, Hardy backed off that ball. Make sure it doesn't roll back in. Here's the upcoming pitching matchup presented by the Michigan Office of Highway Safety Planning. Roberto Hernandez tomorrow for the Astros and Anibal Sanchez. Anibal trying to reduce that ERA even further. It's at 5.60 right now. Sub 4 for Hernandez. Got him, strike 3. Man, the Tigers bullpen today. They've retired the last 10 straight. Here comes the bottom of the ninth. Of Houston now with a preview of what's coming up on Tigers Live. We check in with Matt Shepard.
Mario, what do you tell us every production meeting? You can't be cooler than me on TV today. This is what I've told these young gentlemen here, right? Do not be cooler than me, but if you want to be on TV, it's okay. You can smile, you can have some fun. Here's what's coming up on Tigers Live postgame. We'll hear from Brad Ausmus. We'll go inside the Tigers clubhouse. If those stinking Astros win, we're going to talk to one of those guys too. And these guys will hurry home and catch themselves on TV on the replay a little bit later on. You got a chance? Do you think they got a chance of coming back, fellas?
Yeah.
They were a lot more enthusiastic before, I promise you that. I think I just scared the hell out of them, Marco.
Yeah, you did scare them.
Is there anybody cooler than Shep?
No one.
Here's Luke Gregerson now. He will take over for the Astros.
And Tigers hoping that Gregerson's in the mood to blow his second save of the year. He has 10 in 11 opportunities. The ERA is way up there, though it's over 4. He does have 14 strikeouts. He's walked 5.
So the Tigers have 3 guys that certainly can hit the ball out of the ballpark. They're down by a run as we go to the bottom of the ninth. J.D. Martinez leads it off. And he looks at ball 1 from Gregerson. JD is 1 for 3, had a single. That came with 1 out in the 6th. Tigers could do nothing with it, though. In there is strike 1-1. Gregerson originally part of the San Diego system. Oakland last year. That's rolled foul, 1-2.
Not going to overpower you. And Gregerson about 90 to 92 with his 2-seamers. Got a lot of movement on it, a lot of sink. And a slow breaking ball at about 83. And 56% of his outs are via the ground ball. Keeps the ball down.
Astros signed him as a free agent in December. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. JD went fishing.
Astros had the worst bullpen in the major leagues last year. They were 30th, and their team ERA out of the bullpen last year was almost 5. It was 4.80. Different story this season. That's one of the reasons why they're a much better ball club.
Second in ERA to the Royals. They're first in wins, first in WHIP, and strikes to ball ratio as well. Now Cespedes.
Last couple of days, even though Yoenis has been getting on base quite a bit, he has been prone to swinging at that really slow breaking ball in the dirt.
Here's the 1-0. 2 balls, no strikes on Yoenis.
And Yoenis was taking all the way on that last breaking ball thrown by Gregerson.
They've used Harris, Thatcher, Neshek, and now Gregerson. That's in there, a strike. 2-1 on Yoenis. And that bullpen has been protecting a 1-run lead.
And both bullpens have been good here today.
2-2.
Good pitch to hit there, but as a hitter, when you see that breaking ball and you see it out of the hand, you're not expecting it to hang inside. You're expecting it to go outside. That one stayed up on the inside part of the plate, and Yoenis couldn't pull the trigger.
Swing and a miss. He pulled the trigger that time and struck out swinging, 2 away.
And Gregerson got on top of that breaking ball nicely.
Astros bullpen now has retired 10 straight, just like the Tigers bullpen. Castellanos is the last chance for the Tigers. He is 0 for 3. He takes ball 1. Low, ball 2. Tyler Collins on deck. Here's the 2-0 pitch. He'll take 2-1 on Nick. 2 strikeouts, double play ball today. There's Collins lurking. See if he gets a chance. Inside. The count goes 3-1. Now the crowd trying to help out a little bit. Swing and a miss. 3-2 on Castellanos. Gregerson needs 1 more strike. It's fouled away.
It's a nice swing there by Castellanos, allowing that breaking ball to get deep in the strike zone and not trying to force the issue. He's got a huge hole on the right side of the infield. Only Carter, the first baseman, is on that side.
Drilled foul again, back out of play. Gregerson in his career has been a workhorse wherever he's been, whether it's been the Padres, the team that he broke in with, or Oakland. He's appeared in more than 70 games 5 times in his career, and 1 time over 80 games. Trying to nail this one shut. Here are the career numbers on Gregerson. 2.80 ERA. Again, the 3-2. Ground ball to short. Fouled up by Gonzalez, and that's the ball game. A 1-2-3 inning for Gregerson. The bullpen retires the last 11 straight for the Astros, and they win it here today, 3-2. We'll be back to Comerica Park.